So, my dear children, welcome to this EDUSAT English teleteaching program. In the previous session, we have discussed types of sentences and we have already discussed the definition of sentence, parts of a sentence and simple sentences and types of simple sentences, 4 types of simple sentences, and we have also discussed the patterns of simple sentences and we have done 2 activities. So, today we are going to discuss the compound sentences and complex sentences. Before going to discuss the compound sentences and complex sentences, let us have a recap of the previous session. So, let us see types of sentences, what a sentence is and what we discussed in the previous session. So, a sentence is a group of words, a word or a group of words having complete sense and with a subject and a verb in the predicate word, right. Then we have also discussed sentences are of 3 types according to their structures: simple, compound, complex. We have analyzed, we have examined the examples. Sonali worked hard and got a scholarship. Sonali, who worked hard, got a scholarship. She got a scholarship which helped her. All these things we have already discussed, right. So, simple, compound and complex sentences, and we have also analyzed this diagram sentences. We have 2 types, one clause sentence, simple sentence. More than one clause, we have 2 types sentences, compound and complex. And under compound sentences, we have also discussed the clauses are, they are independent clauses and the first clause is a main clause, and in the complex sentence one is main clause and the other clauses they are called subordinate clauses, right. So, under simple sentences we have discussed declarative or assertive sentences, imperative sentences, exclamative sentences, interrogative sentences, and we have also done the activities for all these types of simple sentences, right. And we have also discussed these patterns of sentences, simple sentences. In English language, whatever the sentence is, whenever we use a sentence, we must have this structure, one of these structures, 5 structures, simple structures: subject plus verb, subject plus verb plus object, subject plus verb plus object plus object, subject plus verb plus complement, subject plus verb plus object plus complement. In this context, I would just like to say one thing, my dear students. I would like to say you in ODIA language. आमे मनीष माने जेमती भिन्न भिन्न आमर सब there are different natures. We are different, we have different natures. किए आमिष खाऊची, किए निरामिष खाऊची, काहाकू apple भल लागुची, काहाकू orange भल लागुची, काहाकू को परिबा भल लागुनी. So, human beings, they are quite different from each other. And in English language also we have different types of verbs. The nucleus, as I have already told you, वाक्य रे गोटे क्रिया होची गोटे न्यूक्लियस भली काम करे, सब मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट आइटम. क्रियाटा को छाड़ी के आमे वाक्य करि परिबा नाही. तेनु क्रियाटा कोठी कोन चाहे. सपोज वन एग्जांपल आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू गिव यू. सपोज गिव इज ए वर्ब. If you say I gave a pen, this sentence is wrong, because give is a verb, it is a nucleus, it is a verb in English language which requires at least 3 items, 1 subject, 2 objects. पिले माने देबा नेबा जिते वर्ब अछि, गिव, राइट, डोनेट, ए टाइप रो जिते वर्ब सब अछि, राइट. सबु वर्ब गुडा करे 2टा जिंस दरकार पड़े. गोटे होची कर्ता, आउ जोड़े जिंस होची गोटे डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, गोटे इनडायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट. जदि मु कहिबी आई गेव ए पेन, दिस सेंटेंस इज रॉन्ग. आई गेव ए पेन टू समवन, सो आई कैन से आई गेव हिम और आई गेव यू or I gave my friend a pen, then the sentence is right. Suppose kill is a verb, मारिबा होची क्रिया. मारिबा मन के जणे मारिबो आउ काहा को मारिबो. If you say he killed, then the sentence is wrong. He killed a tiger, he killed a tiger, he killed a snake, he killed something. That means kill is a verb which requires 2 items. So, exactly taking these natures of the verbs, we have 5 different types of structures in English, right. So, let us go to the next item, right. Compound sentences. You see, look at the following sentences. There are two examples. Couple joined the dance competition and won the first prize. The second example is Pickle joined the song competition, but he could not get any prize, right. So, we have two sentences. Each of these two sentences has two finite independent clauses. I have already told you, in a sentence if you have one verb, that is finite. If you have many verbs in a verb phrase, the first one is finite. So, couple joined the dance competition and won the first prize. Here there are two verbs, joined is a finite verb, won is a finite verb, and there are two finite clauses. So, couple joined the dance competition, underlined part is one finite clause, and he won the first prize, that is another finite clause, right. So, Pickle joined the song competition, this is one finite clause, and he could not get any prize, that is another finite clause. There are two finite verbs, two finite clauses, and these two finite clauses in each sentence, they are independent clauses, and they are joined, they are linked by a conjunction and in sentence number 1 and in sentence number 2. These two clauses, two independent, two finite clauses, they are joined by, they are linked by the conjunction but, and that is why these sentences are, these two sentences are compound sentences. So, what is a compound sentence? The first two independent clauses in each sentence, you see, they are main clauses and the second clauses are coordinate clauses. So, a sentence the sentence in which two or more independent clauses are joined by coordinators are called compound clauses, compound sentences. So, my dear students, this is most important. You see, when we say compound sentences, we have more than one clauses, and the clauses are, you know, a simple sentence is a clause. So, the clauses are, they are joined by a conjunction or by maybe more than one conjunctions, and all these sentences, they are independent clauses, but the first clause is called the main clause and the other clauses, they are called coordinate clauses. So, suppose in case of the first sentence, couple joined the dance competition and he won the first prize. Couple joined the dance competition is the main clause and he won the first prize is the coordinate clause, right. So, let us conclude what is a compound sentence. The compound sentence is the sentence which has more than one independent clauses and they are joined by the coordinators or conjunctions, and they may be one or more, but the first one is called main clause, right. Let us see some compound sentences with different coordinators. We have different coordinators or conjunctions, and, but, at, still, either or, neither nor, both, right. There are many conjunctions or coordinators, conjunctions are called coordinators, and let us see some examples which are given in your textbook also, in your grammar book. And he came and stayed for a week. So, here and is the conjunction, he came, this is one clause, and he stayed for a week, this is another clause, and when and is used. So, the subject of the second clause is omitted, and he is very hardworking, but he is really not intelligent, right. So, but he is not rich, yet he is happy. So, my dear students, you please remember, you look at the screen, look at the example, when we use yet, we have to give one comma. He is not rich, yet he is happy. से धनी नुहे किंतु से सबु बेले भारी खुशी रे अछि, भारी आनंदित, right. She did not do much work, still she passed the examination. Still एठी देखो पिले एठी भी गोटे कमा अछि, right. Next, nevertheless there was no news, nevertheless she went on hoping. He watches television or goes out of the playground. Work hard or else you will fail. Take care, otherwise you will fail. He was taken ill, therefore he could not. When therefore, otherwise, you just look at the commas, right. And either or, neither nor, not only, you can also look at either he, you leave or I will. he is neither handsome nor is he smart. He neither returned the goods nor paid the bill. He not only liked the house, but also bought it. So, we have different types of coordinators conjunctions, and we use these conjunctions to form or to use compound sentences and to make the language sweeter. So, let us go to the next part, and we can see also how the compound sentences are structured and use of compound sentences. So, dear children, we have already discussed and we have seen some coordinators, how they are used, and you can also now see some more coordinators, both and, so, for, besides there are some coordinators and how they are used in the sentences. He can both sing and act, and mind it, both and you cannot use in negative sentences. You cannot say he cannot both sing and act. से दीटा को जो जिनस काम करि पर से गीत गाई पारे एवं नाची पारे आमे दीटा पे बोथ एंड लगे परिबा किंतु से दीटा को गीत गाई पारे नि कि नाची पारे नि वी कैन नॉट से ही कैन नॉट बोथ सिंग एंड एक्ट द सेंटेंस विल बी रॉन्ग राइट सो आई वाज वेरी हंग्री you look at the comma right so I wanted to have an early lunch so we have two clauses you see and two sentences and so is the coordinator is the conjunction in that case you can use a comma so this is very important for your writing. When you are writing something you should use comma here when you are using some coordinators right like at so like this right nevertheless and all these things. For he found it necessarily difficult to read you see comma for his eyes were failing. Besides I do not want to go to the cinema besides I am feeling tired right. So, these are some of the uses of different conjunction or coordinators and you see there are some coordinators right which are also called correlative conjunctions or correlatives like neither nor, either or, not only but also, both and. So, these coordinators or these conjunctions they are called correlatives because they go in pairs, they cannot be separated right and they are related to each other. These correlatives are also conjunctions usually they are used to join two alternatives right two alternatives there are two alternatives and we use neither nor either or not only but also both and all these conjunctions right. So, let us go to the activity part so that we can understand the compound sentences better. Combine each pair of the following sentences into a compound sentence using conjunctions such as and, but, or, so, at, for, otherwise right. Let me read out the questions first then we will discuss the answers right. So, he finished his exercises, he put away his books. We have two sentences, we have to combine these two sentences using one of the yellow colored conjunctions or coordinators from the list right. Number 2, he must not be late, he will be punished. Make haste, you will be late. He is rich, is not contented right. He was horrified, he saw blood stain on the floor. He tried hard, he did not succeed. They took every precaution, they suffered from the disease. I have a lot of work, I must do it now. Be good, you will be happy. He practiced daily, he became an expert player right. So, these are the sentences pairs of sentences. Let us combine them and let us make them one sentence from each pair right. The answers 1. He finished his exercises, he put away his books. So, two actions, he finished something then he did another thing right. So, I finished my work then I went to and in this case we can use the coordinator or the conjunction and. He finished his exercises and put away his books right. He must not be late, he will be punished. So, if he will be late, he will be punished, you see. So, in this case what will happen? He must not be late or he will be punished. Make haste, you will be late. Make haste, tartar hua, otherwise you will be late. Tartar nahale tame deri heijibo, you will be late. So, make haste, otherwise you will be late. So, my dear students, when we are discussing all things, please look at the sentences how they are written, so that you can use commas. Whenever you are going to write these sentences, nachet nahale ei arthre jetole ame byabahar kariba, setole ame duiti comma byabahar kariba. Make haste, do this, otherwise you won't get first class, right, like this. He is rich, he is not contented, the alga sentence. Dhani kintu se dhani hele madhya se खुशी नुह. He is rich, yet he is not contented. He is rich, yet he is not contented, right. He was horrified, for he saw blood stain on the floor. Here this for, this coordinator conjunction means because. He was horrified as he saw, or for he saw blood stain on the floor. He tried hard, he did not succeed. He tried hard, but did not succeed. कठिन श्रम कले किंतु कृतकार्य हो पारलानी. But so two things, he did something but he did not get, right. They took every precaution, they suffered from the disease. They took every precaution, yet suffered from the disease, right. I have a lot of work, I must do it now. I have a lot of work, yet I must do it now, right. So, although I have a lot of work, I must do it now. So, here yet is a coordinator which can be, or conjunction which can be used to show that I have a lot of work, but or yet I must do it now. Be good, you will be happy, be good and you will be happy, right. He practiced daily, he became an expert player. So, he practiced, pile mane practice re bele bele samaste kahନ୍ତି practiced, kintu actually practice CPRACTICE चाहे नाउन फॉर्म रे वर्ब फॉर्म रे भी सेया उच्चारण करिबा. He practiced daily, he became an expert player. He practiced daily, so he became an expert player. So, now you can understand the use of these conjunctions or coordinators, right. And let us go to the next activity. Combine each pair of the following sentences into a compound sentence using one of the correlatives. I have already told you either or, neither nor, not only but also, both and, all these things, all these conjunctions coordinators, they are called correlatives because they relate the alternatives. So, energy is necessary for success in life, patience is also necessary for success in life. We have to combine these two sentences. I have left my glasses on the bus, I have left my glasses at the office, right. Let me finish the questions, reading questions first, then we will discuss the answers. He cannot speak English, he cannot speak Hindi. The boy is very healthy, he is also very happy. He does not drink tea, he does not drink coffee. She draws pictures neatly, she also paints them beautifully. The artists will sing for us, they will dance for us too, right. Let us go to the answers, we will see how these pairs of sentences are combined, alternatives are combined by the help of these correlatives, right. So, energy is necessary for success in life, patience is also necessary. So, both the things are necessary, we can use both and. So, both energy and patience are necessary for success in life, both the things are necessary, right. So, both and, because energy is necessary and patience is necessary. When the two things are same, we can use both and. I have left my glasses on the bus, I have left my glasses at the office. So, I have left my glasses either on the bus or at the office, right. So, two things, either on the bus or at the office, right. Number 3, he cannot speak English, he cannot speak Hindi. So, when we combine, what will happen? In the both the sentences we have not negative sentences. So, we can use neither nor. He can neither speak English nor can he speak Hindi. So, when we use neither, you see just before the verb and nor use after the first clause, and when we use nor, then we bring the auxiliary verb before he. So, we use like this, he can neither speak English nor can he. You can not say he can nor, you should use nor he can nor can he, right. So, the boy is very healthy, he is also very happy. The boy is very healthy and happy, because only and can, that means he is healthy, he is also happy. He does not drink tea, he does not drink coffee, he neither drinks tea nor does he drink coffee. ମୁଁ ପିଲାମାନେ କହିଛି ଯେତେବେଳେ ନାଇଦର ନର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବା ପ୍ରଥମେ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲଜର ସେତେବେଳେ ଅକ୍ସିଲାରୀ ଭର୍ବଟାକୁ ତା ପାଖକୁ ଆଣିବା, ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କଲେ ନର କ୍ୟାନ୍, ସେମିତି ଏଠି ହି ଡ୍ରିଙ୍କ୍ସ ଅଛି ନର ଡଜ୍ ହି ଡ୍ରିଙ୍କ ଆମେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବା। ଏଇଟା ଟିକେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ଟିକେ ବୁଝିପାରିବା, ରାଇଟ୍। ଲେଟ୍ସ ଗୋ ଟୁ ଦ ନେକ୍ସଟ ୱାନ୍। ସେ ଡ୍ରଜ୍ ପିକ୍ଚର୍ସ ନିଟଲି but also paints them beautifully, right. The artist will sing for us and they will dance, that means the artist will sing and dance for us, right. Now, we finished the compound sentences, let us go to the complex sentences and we will see what are the complex sentences and how we can use complex sentences nicely. Look at the following examples, the sentences. I am certain of completing the work today, I am certain that I shall complete the work today. Tell me the place of your birth, tell me where you were born. Hard working students succeed in the examination, students who work hard succeed in the examinations. So, each pair of sentences above, they conveys actually each pair conveys the same meaning. You see, I am certain of completing the work today and also I am certain that I shall complete the work today. Both the sentences they give the same meaning, but what happens in case of first sentence there is a non-finite verb, I am certain of completing, completing is the non-finite verb, and in the second sentence I am certain and another clause is there that I shall complete the work today. So, the second sentence here is a complex sentence because there are two clauses and the clauses are not linked with or not joined with conjunction, but these are joined with a that, a what, a relative pronoun, right. Tell me the place of your birth, tell me where. So, again the second clause where you were born, that begins with where, and in case of the third example, the second sentence of the third example, students who work hard, who work hard, you see. So, where, who work, that, all these clauses they begin with that, where, who, these relative, these pronouns or WH words, and they are really they are subordinate clauses. So, in these cases the second ones, the second sentences of each example, they are complex sentences and they have two clauses. One, the first clause is the main clause and the principal clause, the second clause is the subordinate clause, right. So, you look at this, I shall do as I like, one example. Second example, when we went there we found that he had gone. So, in sentence 1 consists of two clauses, I shall do and as I like. The first is independent clause which can stand by itself and so it is called the main or principal clause, I have already told you, but the second clause cannot stand by itself. ମୁଁ କେବେ କହିପାରିବିନି ଯେ as I like ଗୋଟେ sentence, ତେଣୁ या meaning ଟା depends on the meaning of the first sentence. That is why the second clause is called a dependent clause and subordinate clause, and it is the sentence is called a complex sentence. And in sentence 2 also we have one main clause we found and two subordinate clauses, when we went and that he had done. So, when we went subordinate clause, when we went there, that is the subordinate clause, and he had gone, that is the subordinate clause. So, this is how we can say a complex sentence has a main clause or a principal clause and some one or more subordinate clauses, they are not independent, they are dependent clauses. So, let us conclude the definition. A sentence which consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses is called a complex sentence. So, look at the diagram, the repetition, sentence, one clause, independent, that is simple sentence, more than one clause, and if coordinate clauses, they are compound. If we have subordinate clauses and begin with WH word or relative pronouns, they are called subordinate clauses, and the sentence is called complex sentence. And the subordinate clauses, they may be noun clauses or adjective clauses or relative clauses, what we say, or adverb clauses, and we will discuss in a separate chapter all these things, right. So, a sentence which consists of one main clause, we have already discussed. One or more subordinate clauses is called a complex sentence. The subordinate clauses may be noun clauses or relative clauses or adverb clauses, and we will discuss all these things in separate chapters later, right. So, let us do the activity. Break up each of the following sentences into separate clauses, mark the main clause MC and subordinate clauses as SC. आम MC और SC लिखा. He would go if you asked him. You should not disbelieve what he says. He found the watch that he had lost. Though he was born of poor parents, he rose to greatness. We thought that he was a hermit. A dog that walks seldom bites. The place where Buddha was buried has recently been discovered. It always pours when it rains. Look at the answers. He would go if you asked him, he would go main clause, and if you asked him, that is subordinate clause, and you will see in the next in other chapter, that is an adverb clause, right. You should not disbelieve what he says. So, you should not disbelieve, that is the main clause, and what he said, that is the subordinate clause. And he found the watch he had lost, he found the watch main clause, and the that he had lost is the subordinate clause. So, my dear students, actually you have one or more activities in your textbook, and I think you understand what is a sentence, the structure of a sentence, and different types of sentences basing on the structure, and different types of simple sentences, and we have also done some activities. I hope you have understood something, and you do the activities, you can understand better. Now, the time is over, and thank you very much.